Hello and welcome to Nana Yoga. My name is Nanako and I'm a yoga teacher in Miyoko, Japan. So today's class is something that is quite personal and I hope that it helps you too. So I'm quite a beginner in snowboarding and skiing. I only started when I was about, I did it a few times as a kid, but I didn't really get very far. My teacher was a snowboarder, my stepfather's niece, and I got into skiing and my friends were much better than me. This was in Grenoble, Les Deux Alpes, and I got pushed a lot, but I remember a lot having that fear, so being on top of a steep slope and just being like, I think at that time I couldn't even put my brain and my heart together, but both my brain and my heart were like, no, fear, fight or flight, and it was just like fight and fly, and I couldn't fly because I was stuck on top of the mountain. So another incident, also when you are actually much more advanced in snowboarding or skiing, you might still find yourself in trouble. I mean, Mother Nature is, she's badass, she's pretty strong, so and she doesn't care how good you are. And I still get the fear, and essentially you get this fear because it's your, how would you say this, your body and your mind are telling you, oh, this is scary, you should survive, you shouldn't die, and just no. So that's why a lot of the time it's really difficult for us as we get older to do things that are out of our comfort zone, because we just, I guess through conditioning we just create a lot of fear. So another personal story and is that 2 seasons ago, my confidence level went really high. I went from kind of going off on the piste to actually following my husband, who's much better snowboarder than me so far. And I followed him and I got really confident. He kind of, helped me out and led me the way. And if I know where I'm going, if I do it a few times, I'm quite confident. But if I'm going somewhere new, I'm still a little bit apprehensive. And maybe that's being a woman and watching out for myself, and touch wood, this wood right here, I have been fine. However, in spring, about not last season, the season before, so 2 years ago, I did fall into a glide crack. And a glide crack in springtime happens, especially in Japan, in Miyoko. We have hot springs, so the earth is incredibly warm. So what happens is that when it is also warm on top, this snow sort of slides, and here it's not so steep like in Canada or Europe or North America or steeper mountains. It just kind of slides down and makes a huge crack. And this crack was maybe a little bit taller than me. I'm not that tall, I'm like 1 meter 55. So it was probably about just under 2 meters and 1.5 meters, so it's in between. And I thought, oh, I'll take that line. There was fresh sort of spring powder. This was in Seki Onsen, this really cool ski resort, which I would highly recommend for you to visit if you come to Miyoko Kogen, whatever you want to call it. And I fell in and I saw it. I saw no lines, which is one, an indication that you should probably not go there. And number 2, I probably should have watched where I was going down while I was on the lift, because you could actually see this area. And I saw it. I saw this huge crack. I thought, oh, well, that's pretty, I don't want to fall in there, and I hadn't jumped over it because I guess I didn't have the level. And I went around and actually ended up, the snow's awfully soft because there's a crack and there's snow here which has opened up, and I fell head first. I had a helmet on, I had walkie-talkie, and I have my mobile, but neither of my friends with the walkie-talkies had them on, and my other half did not have his phone or walkie-talkie on, so I was pretty screwed. And luckily one of the ski resort guys helped me, and he was pretty freaked out. He was bibitteru, as you say in Japanese, because someone actually died there like 13 years ago. But anyway, I'm fine. But like many things that happen to us, it kind of traumatized me. I laughed it off, but the year after I went to the ski resort only once this season, and I don't know what happened. Well, already my riding was a bit more rubbish, and then yeah, and I just had this thing in my heart that was like, it was pounding. My brain did not correlate the feeling of what was my body. This is what's really interesting once you learn more about yoga and meditation and so on, is you kind of start to think like, oh, I feel like this, but my brain doesn't quite understand. So what happened is that it caused trauma, and it was obviously in my brain, and my body kind of started to be like, what are you doing? Why are you here again? Do you want to die? And my heart was pounding, and then I kind of pushed myself to do a few runs that I can do, but I had this fear from falling in this glide crack. It really scared me because I thought, essentially I was fine in the crack, but if someone had snowboarded or skied above me and thrown the sort of fresh snow above me, I could have suffocated. I was upside down, my shoulder was stuck, all I had was luckily this access. So it was scary. And I also had oh god, what is it called? Like a beeper thing on. Sorry. And but yeah, so I remember being on the slope, and it felt like it was steep, but looking back on the video now, it was not that steep, and I could not go. I could not do this run, and I went straight back to that time where I was like a complete beginner at skiing, and I'm like, okay, you can do it, in my brain, and my heart and my body is just like, it won't move. And then I started to have tears, and then you know, you normally start to realize that your breathing is really fast, and it was not great. But eventually I think I just told myself it's fine. I made myself calm down. I did it. Didn't look great, but I did it and I went down. Another note, if you are, especially if you come to Japan, and the powder can be incredibly deep if you're not used to it, and the snow, especially in Myoga, is heavy. So I would advise that if you do get stuck, which it totally happens, luckily it's a very soft landing, but what might happen is that you dig in, and especially if you're a snowboarder, you just dig in further, and then you have to, so what will happen is that you dig in and you need to just stay calm. You do not want to start panicking, because then you get sweaty and your breathing goes crazy, and then your goggles will fog up, and then you won't be able to see once you can get out of the situation. So just keep calm. So number one tip, when you are scared and on the mountain, keep calm, breathe. So use what we'll be using in this video, so Ujjayi breath, so breathing in through the nose, really deep, and breathing out again. And just keep doing that until you finally feel a little calmer, and your brain isn't going like, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. You're not gonna die, you'll be fine. Number two is that voice in your head that's saying, oh my god, this is terrible, blah, blah, blah. Don't listen to it. It's trying to help you out in the sense that it's trying to get you out of the crappy situation, but it's actually making you panic more. So the best thing to do is actually to be like, I'm fine. I will get out of this situation. And just repeat that. Just repeat something very, very positive. It makes a huge difference. When I've been stuck in snow, I've had to do this, and then had no sweat in my goggles. I got out, it took a while, and I made my way and I was fine. So that's my tip. So this is sort of like a bit of breathing yoga, and then a short sort of meditation at the end to get you confident again, to get back on the mountain, and then utilize what we've used in this yoga video and put it up there on the mountain, whether you're a skier, a snowboarder, whether you're really good at park, complete beginner, or like an advanced backcountry person. I think these are skills that will really benefit you, and they have certainly helped me since I've learned more about yoga and meditation. So let's get started. We're just going to sit down, and if it's a little cold, just put a blanket on or socks on for now, because we're not going to move for a little while, especially because it's winter, might be freezing. Yeah, so what we're going to do is bring our palms down. So you bring them up when you kind of want to bring up the tension, but today we're going to be calm and stay grounded. So we're going to just stay in an easy seating position. If your knees come up and you're a little stiff, who cares? As long as it's comfortable, that's good enough. So we're going to sit nice and straight. Both hands are going to be facing down, and we're going to close the eyes. And then you're going to start breathing in and out through the nose. Another breath in and out through the nose. And on your next breath in, we're going to breathe in much more deeply. So inhale through the nose deeply. And exhale again through the nose deeply. So next, as you breathe, exhale, we're going to bring both the middle and the index finger in the middle of your forehead, so kind of on your, this sort of third eye chakra area. And you're going to bring the thumb to the right nostril, and then the ring finger is kind of going to hang out. So what we're going to do is, hold on, that ring finger is actually going to close on your nose, and we're going to sit nice up, nice and straight, left hand down, and you're going to open up, I'm just going to show you, open up the right nostril and breathe in through the right. And we're going to do this 5 times, so I'll let you know when it's a full cycle. So breathing in through the right. And when you're finished with that breath, you're going to close both nostrils. You're going to hold for a few seconds here. And you're going to exhale through the left nostril. So inhaling through the left nostril. Close the left nostril and then open the right and breathe out through the right. So that's one full circle. So we'll do 4 more. So inhaling through the right. Close both nostrils and exhale through the left. Inhaling through the left nostril. I'm just filming. I'll be a few more minutes. So inhaling through the left nostril. A yoga video. And then exhale through the right. Inhaling through the right. And close both nostrils. And exhale through the left. Inhaling through the left nostril. Close your left nostril and open up the right and breathe it out through the right. And then close the right nostril and hold the breath here. And then breathing out through the left. And then breathing in through the left nostril. Now you're going to close both nostrils. And then breathing out through the right again. Breathing in from the right nostril. Close both nostrils, hold the breath. And then breathing out through the left nostril. Breathing in from the left. Closing both nostrils and then breathe out through the right. One more time, breathing in through the right. Closing both nostrils. And breathing in from the left. Breathing out, sorry. from the left nostril. And then breathing out through the right. Breathing in from the right nostril. Closing both. And then breathing out through the left nostril. Breathing in from the left nostril. Closing both. And then breathing out through the right. When you're done with that breath, just going to bring our hands down, palms facing down on top of your knees, and then breathe in through your nose. And exhale. Inhale again through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. And just return to your normal breath. And then what we're going to do here is leaving your eyes closed. You're just going to bring your knees onto the mat, and your feet below your bum. You bring the feet underneath your bum, but the knees out. We're just going to bring ourselves down into child's pose. Back a bit. And we're going to stay here for about 5 breaths. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then next we're going to bring ourselves up, and then I'm just gonna face you. Bring both knees in together. So here they can be a little further apart. Just see how you feel with your hips. Today my hips are a little more open, so I'm going to do a bound angle pose. So you're going to bring your feet together. You're going to kind of place your hands just underneath the feet, and then you're going to stretch your back nice and straight or nice and long. And you're going to look forward. So you just want to avoid sort of slouching. You just want to be nice and tall, looking forward. So about 4 more breaths here. Very good. So, maybe we should do the same. Okay. So what we're going to do next is bring the right leg just behind, and we're going to get prepared in our pigeon pose. You know, bring the right hip forward, looking forward. What you're going to do here is just kind of line up the hips nice and straight. So what you can do is stay here, and if what you want to do is not just dump that left hip down, it can be higher up. And you're going to stay here if that's comfortable for you. So there's one way to do it. Number 2 is just a little lower down. Or number 3, all the way down. See, the lower you go, the more intense the stretches in your hip. So just see what's comfortable for you. The luxury of doing this YouTube video is that you do it at home and there's no competition. So what you want to kind of do here as you're breathing is just slightly press that front hip, right hip forward, and that left hip back. to do here is place the palms down, bring ourselves up, and then undo that leg so you're kind of in a tabletop position, and you're going to drag that right knee to the right wrist and that left wrist or the right foot to the left wrist. And you're going to bring that left leg back, and then you're going to stay here if this is comfortable for you. We're going to stay here for a few breaths. Or option number 2, slower down. Option number 3 is all the way down. And as you're breathing in and out through the nose, I also want you to sort of make those hips sort of straight. So you're going to press that right hip, left hip forward, and that right hip back a little bit. So a few more breaths here. Breathing in, we're going to undo that right leg, bring it underneath us. What we're going to do is kind of do a Chaturanga, so you're going to kind of press both hands down. You're going to bring your torso down, so Chaturanga, but this isn't actually the pose, just a transition. You're going to bring the elbows in, and as you bring the elbows in, you'll probably notice that your chest starts to pump up. So what you're going to do here is press the elbows down, chest up, and we're going to get into our sort of mini or small cobra. And then bring yourself down. So what you do is get from tabletop and you kind of do a Chaturanga pose. You're going to bring yourself forward, Chaturanga. What you then are going to do is bring your forearms down. And what you want to kind of do here is place those elbows right underneath your shoulders. So strong legs here, and you're kind of want also your shoulders to be down towards the ground. And your neck is nice and tall, you're looking forward, and then as you breathe out, you're going to be at the bottom on the mat, and as you breathe in, we're going to open up that chest, looking forward, Sphinx pose. So opening, and then what we're going to do, unless you have neck pain, so if you have neck pain, stay here. If your neck is fine, you'll go back a little bit. We're going to open up the throat, the heart, and then bring your shoulders down. I'm just going to get down, and then what we do is press the palms down, crisscross those legs forward. You're going to bring the feet kind of nearest to your bum. You're going to bring yourself back. What we're going to do is get into bridge pose. So what we're going to do here is place the palms down towards the mat, and you're going to bring the hips up towards the sky. And what you want to kind of do here is bring those knees in together. So you kind of feel like the thighs are squeezing together, as if you have a block, of course you can use a block, but like you're squeezing something in between your thighs and pressing the bum up. And here I want you to sort of squeeze those glutes, the bum, pressing that chest up, and then finally bringing the hands in together underneath and sort of tucking in each shoulder underneath that chest. And you're going to look forward. A few more breaths here. And then 5, you're going to bring yourself down. Very good. And then what we're going to do here next is bring the knees in towards your chest and bring your right hand up towards the sky and just placing it on the left hand side of your knees. You're going to press those knees to the right side. What we're going to do here is press the left hand out, and your head is going to point towards that left hand. So you're kind of twisting that spine to the side. If you can and you have the space, straighten out your arm. I've got this lovely Fusumador in the way. And then breathing in, we're going to bring both those knees back in towards your chest, and just use that bit of stomach strength. And then left hand up towards the sky, placing on the right side of those knees, placing those knees down towards the floor and opening the right palm or the right hand up to the right and looking towards the right. And then breathing in, we're going to bring both of those knees in towards our chest. And our final pose, my favourite pose, we're going to bring the right and the left leg down. And if you have a blanket, socks, a hoodie, something warm, put it on. And we're going to bring the head of your body. So this is corpse pose. Essentially, the looks of it are very simple. You are like a corpse, but you're alive, of course. So you want to be focusing on that breath. So inhaling through the nose. And exhaling again through the nose. Let's do one more breath together. Inhaling through the nose. And exhale. And on your next breath in, we're just going to gently bring the knees in towards our chest. And then inhaling and bring ourselves to the right. And on your next exhale, just going to bring ourselves up into a comfortable seated position. And just gently close those eyes, palms on top of your knees. And breathing in again and out through the nose. And bringing both hands to the side, just beside your body. And you're going to breathe in, bring the hands up towards the sky. And as you breathe out, we're going to bring those hands up to your chest. And here I just want to set an intention for you to use for when you're on the mountain. So, I am fine, I am calm, and I can do this. So just repeat that a few more times. If you have your own version, your own sort of intention that you can set when you are panicking and on the mountain, need a little uplift, use that. So let's do one more breath, one last time together. So inhaling. And as you exhale, let's breathe out through the mouth. And then looking down towards your hands, bowing to yourself for taking this time to take care of yourself. And then breathing in, you're going to come up. Thank you so much for doing this video, and I really hope it helps. Thank you. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. And if you have Instagram, add me on Instagram at nano.yoga. And if you have any comments, please mention them below and I'll make sure to reply. Thank you so much for joining me.